Let's stop here. What exactly are we saying about criteria for success and what that means to us in the New Castle County Vo-Tech School District? In that first video, you heard from Nancy Fry as she described success criteria. We are using the language criteria for success simply because that is the language that appears in the DTGSS evaluation. As we talk about criteria for success, it's important to remember that the purpose of the lesson guide and the professional learning that we've embarked on this year is truly to continue refining and strengthening the instructional foundation that we've already built for ourselves. That while we have so many good practices happening pervasively throughout the district, there is always opportunity to keep pushing forward. Criteria for success are no different. So as we talk about criteria for success, here's 3 things that we want to walk away with. Number 1, criteria for success really takes your learning objective and breaks it down into manageable chunks for students. Let's go back to that imagery of the staircase. Your learning objective sits on the 2nd floor. The criteria for success are the individual steps and skills and knowledge that students have to be able to exhibit mastery over that learning objective. The second thing that criteria for success do is it provides your student with language and ownership over their learning. How many times have any of us walked up to a student that's struggling and said, "What don't you understand?" Only to have the kid look and say, "I don't know." The criteria for success empowers students to be able to measure off what they know and what they don't know. If this is my learning objective, those criteria for success should allow students to be able to say, well, I understand the first criteria for success. I'm able to do the second criteria for success. Where I'm really stuck is this third criteria for success. I don't know what that means. This is where I need help. This allows not only the student to be able to self-regulate, it provides you, the teacher, more specific information so that you can provide targeted supports to the student. The last thing that's criteria for success that we want you to walk away with is the fact that they should become an integral part of your class. We're not asking you to post these in the front, refer to them at the beginning of the lesson, and then move on. The criteria for success should be referred to throughout the time of instruction so that students are able to see progress in their learning and able to pinpoint what they know, understand, or able to do. Here's what this looks like in a carpentry class. If my learning objective is I want students to be able to build a table, that is my learning objective. Students will build a table. My criteria for success could be broken down into things like students will know which tools they have to select for this process. Students will understand and be able to read a tape measure. Students will show that they're able to use a table saw. Now, there's a lot more that goes into building a table, but those 3 things would allow me as the teacher to understand where my student is falling short in their ultimate pursuit of building a table. So as we continue these conversations around criteria for success, just remember, you are really looking to take your learning objective and break it up in a way that students are able to articulate where they're comfortable and where they're struggling.